Yo, welcome to the Nightly Strange.
Welcome to the Nightly Strange, ladies and gentlemen. I am your host, D-Mac Uno, live and direct from my secure bunker. How's everybody doing today? First things first, I like to talk to the parents out there in the world. You know, I'm a parent too, and I understand we're all going through some things. And I just want to say a couple things. Like, first off, don't apologize to people for having a messy house. It's all good. We understand. These walking tornadoes don't understand a thing. They don't clean nothing up. And when you go to houses and you see kids that actually to be cleaning up there, they probably got beat a lot into cleaning. You know, so, I mean, you ain't got to apologize for having a messy house. I understand. You know how it is? You clean up the whole living room. You know, it's weird. My house could be dirty and my kids will be hiding in their room. And as soon as I clean up the house, then they want to come back outside and venture. Like, ooh, it's so nice and clean in here. It'd be rude if someone fucked it up. You know, you come back, candy wrappers, peels of apples. You know what I'm saying? Just weird stuff all over the ground. Like, what is this? You're trying to decipher fucking ripped up bags and stuff. Just, You know what I'm saying? I have an older child. She's 17. She's going to be 18 in January. And I've seen a lot of parents struggling with kids that are supposed to be in high school, like 16 and up kids. You know, because they don't want to be at home. They want to be gone, and, you know, they're taking off. You know, a lot of these kids are taking off. And I want to tell the parents, I understand you may be hurt from it, but you got to let these kids go. What? You know, high school, if you remember, high school is that time, man, your friends get the car. You know what I'm saying? You get more responsibility, you have more freedom. You're preparing to go out into the world and start your life. You know, you're like, ooh, 1 more year, 2 more years, and I'm 18, I can go do what I want to do. And so Corona has shut all that down. You know what I'm saying? These kids, they've missed homecoming. They've missed, you know, other school dances. They've missed being in the yearbook. They've missed their friends. They've missed going to random places. You know what I'm saying? Like, we can't just be like, hey, well, you know, I live here. I want to go to Tacoma tonight, you know, and go party. We can't do that. And so think about these kids, like they're losing that adventure of growing up. So I say this to the parents, man, if your kids can get a driver's license and they got a social security card and they're 16 and over, let them go, man. Let these kids go find their path. It's so messed up right now in the world that just let them go, man. Let them go do their thing. You know, school's all online. You know what I'm saying? Like, but everywhere's hiring. Let these kids go do their thing. You know what I'm saying? Look out for them. They call you. They need something. Help them out. But just, man, let's let these kids go live. Because we ain't living right now, and we shouldn't have to punish the kids. Y'all see how Halloween is, or was. You know what I'm saying? Like, this whole year could have been the best year to celebrate holidays. They all fell on the weekend. Everybody got to have fun this weekend, but we couldn't come together as people and solve this issue.
Up.
Also, I don't understand why there's so much hate for the rapper Lil Bow Wow.
Man, hate.
Maybe it's because he's never grown a beard, so he still looks like the old rapper Lil Bow Wow, and he's short. But I don't understand the hate. Bow Wow was the man for years. I think people hate Lil Bow Wow because they grew up and they ended up in horrible relationships that Lil Bow Wow songs remind them of.
Think about it, nigga.
You know? They hear Let Me Hold You Down and start dropping a little tear while you frying fucking french fries and shit like, fuck you, Bow Wow. Can't believe you did this to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't understand. Bow Wow, I guess that's the thing we never really got to see like that. I guess we do see it. Like, you get all this fame when you're a young person, and then you get older, and the people start to ridicule you. Like, it's cool to diss on Bow Wow, but I guess that's what a lot of people do with celebrities anyways. You know? Everyone likes a celebrity to a point, and then they get really famous, and then there's people that are like, well, I don't like that you guys like this, so I don't like that celebrity, and then the hate comes. Just like, for an example, you'll be driving and you'll see people on the back of their windows, they have those little stick figures. You know, stick figure family. Oh, this is me, this is my husband, our 2 kids and our turtle, you know? And that's cool. And other people see that like, well, I want to share that with my family. They have different ones where like Star Wars and other things that are unimportant to me. And so it's cool. But then you get those people out there that have stick figure stickers that say, I hate stick figure families. You know what I'm saying? There's people that want to take enjoyment in life, and there's people that just don't like things. They don't like that everybody likes it. They're like, why do y'all like all this? Because they don't like things. And these are all the people that we're seeing wandering around the world these days. You know, but I guess controversy sells. Like, the whole world runs off controversy. I always want to be one of the people where you just sit in the woods and you mind your business, but I like to watch the world burn. So I guess I'm stuck like everybody else. Also, I like to say I support fair weather fans. I am a fair weather fan myself. Yes, I like the Seahawks. Did I like it when they was losing? No, not at all. I was rooting for other teams, just like I'm doing now. I don't have a basketball team anymore. They sold that. I blame everybody in Seattle for that one. So I am a fair weather fan myself. And you super fans are tripping, because if I get to watch the game for free on TV and I didn't have to pay for it, oh, I'm fair weather as hell. I don't care. Ooh, who's in the finals or whatever. I'm gonna watch that shit. Who am I rooting for? This person, because I can. I'll jump on whatever bandwagon. I know Golden State didn't have all them fans back in the day, but who cares? People just mad because they've been rooting for this team and now everybody doing it and they don't know the knowledge. I don't care who played for the team back in the 90s or the 80s. That don't matter to me. I don't care. Do you care about old ass movies from the 70s? No. No. Who's out here bumping sock hop music? What? Nobody. No one cares. Let people enjoy themselves. Let them have fun. Who cares? You know, I've always never really struggled with my weight, but I remember we was in elementary school and they would have this tug of war, you know what I'm saying, for field day, and whatever kid team won, they got to take on the teachers. You know, actually thinking about that now, I know the teachers was like, we about to fuck these little motherfuckers up. Hell yeah, because they'd always win anyways. You know, so, but I never did the tug of war, man, because, you know, I was like 100 pounds back then, you know what I'm saying? So me as a little kid, I don't want the other kids to know I'm 100 pounds, because you're in elementary school, and someone said, or you in elementary school, and somebody makes fun of you, and that name sticks, that shit's gonna ride with you forever. There was a kid, his name was something, but they called him Goober. And I just remember that. Everybody called him Goober. And that was just his name. It wasn't the name he chose. They just all called him Goober. And I always thought that kid was always gonna come back and shoot the school up. Like, I still do think he probably has a kill list today, because they shunned him bad. They shunned him real bad. Like in that movie, Billy Madison, when he called the dude and he apologized to him and he put the lipstick on, that's who I think that dude is. Like, probably not the lipstick, don't come shoot me, but you know what I'm saying, just like a revenge list. Like, you probably see those people every day and just like, yeah, I'm gonna fuck him up. Soon as he gets in the frozen section, that ass is mine. Yeah, for me, you know, also, I've never been one of them people that if I gotta get up at 6 o'clock, I set my alarm clock for 6 o'clock. I can't do that. I've tried it before, and I look and I see that 6 o'clock, I'm like, I can squeeze 10 minutes out of that, snooze. And so, but no, I can never do that. Like, just never. Like, so if I gotta get up at 6 o'clock, I set my alarm clock for 4. You know what I'm saying? So it's 4 o'clock in the morning, it's like, guess what, motherfucker? Snooze. Hit comes on again. You know what's about to happen, right? Snooze. And then I'm kind of laying there like, fuck. You know, and I get that sense of control from that, but I also set my clock like an hour and 40 minutes ahead of time, so I'm late all the time for everything. It makes me feel like I control, like I'll show up when I feel like it. You know what I'm saying? In the shower, taking my time. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, ooh, I'm gonna scrub up below the knees this time. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I'm a man. Don't. Every man knows what I'm talking about. Every man knows what I'm talking about. You know where that soap's going. But you know, I set my clocks like that, and then in my car, I set it like 10 minutes ahead of time. Because I just liked it. It makes me feel like I showed up when I wanted to, and I'm late. But I'm never late. Like, I don't like to be late. Like, that's the worst. Like, I watched that show, The Wire, and they had that thing, Get There Early. And, you know, that kind of stuck with me. And then somebody said, if you're early, you're on time. And if you're on time, you're late. So I was recording my show earlier, and my son comes into the bunker, and he starts talking to me. And then I recorded some of it, but I'm not going to play it for you. I'm just going to tell you our conversation. But it kind of put it in perspective for me. My son was talking about, I wish I had all the money back that I spent on online video games. And so I was like, well, how much do you think you spent? And he, sat there and thought about it a little bit. He's like, probably $500. And that's not that far-fetched. If you think about it, it's like, it's your birthday, somebody gives you $60. Boom, I'm gonna go buy some V-Bucks. Oh, you did some work, here's $20. Oh, I'm gonna go buy some stuff for DC World Online. So I mean, think about it. Your kids, a lot of them get all this money and it goes straight to digital. So parents out there, or anybody that has like a niece, nephew, some little kid that won't stop harassing you for bread and candy and stuff, or wants to play games on your phone, ask them if they're over 9, because kids under that age don't know shit. So ask them if they're over 9. Look, how much money do you think that you spent on online gaming, if they do online? And then let them think about it. Because he's not going to do it no more. As soon as he got that number, he was like, you know what? I don't think I'm going to do that anymore. I was like, that's a smart thing. And I always tell him all the time, I was like, buy something you can get that's going to help you later. But also, he's a little kid, man. I got to let him enjoy himself. You know what I'm saying? Life's hard enough for little kids because they can't go to school. You know, also, I want to talk about Prince. Is that his name, Prince from the royal family? I just commend that dude, man. Like, that man loves his wife so much that he basically gave up being royal to go live with her. You know what I'm saying? Like, they were giving his wife so much shit for no fucking reason, just because she was the new target. And he said, fuck this, we're out. Me and my family are leaving. He's like, I don't need the royal guard. I don't need any of this stuff. He's like, I'm going to go live somewhere happily ever after with my wife. I mean, that's kind of a real fairy tale thing right there. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's commendable. I mean, are you willing to do that for somebody you love? Are you willing to give up all your power and everything you have for love? A lot of people aren't willing to take that risk. You know what I'm saying? Because we've been hurt so much by people in our past, and we've seen things like that kind of storyline doesn't work for us. You know, but some people, you find that person. You know, I believe he did, and I commend that. You know what I'm saying? That's a pretty cool action. Like, I don't need this. And they were just like, well, fine then. You can't have this either. He's like, keep it. I don't want it. I'm going to go be with my wife and my child. We're going to go live happily ever after in LA. In California. Also, you know, I used to have a phone number a long time ago, and I had it for a long time. Very long time. And I had to switch it. I'm not going to say the reason I had to switch it. It's not because I didn't pay my bills, but I had to switch my number. And sometimes out the blue, I'll be thinking about my old number. I know a lot of you have probably had old numbers. And sometimes when it's late at night, you know, about 9 o'clock, I call that old number. And the person that has it now screams at me every time, but I just keep asking, yo, did anybody leave any messages for me? You get some little late night texts? Anybody? Nobody? All right, well, we'll try next month. You know, my friends also, they always be like, man, why do you always wait to call me so late? Everyone's like, why do you wait till 7, 8, 9 o'clock to call people? I'm like, I'm just traumatized from the old phone plans. The old phone plans used to traumatize me. You know, people call you at 5:45, yo, call me after 7. Now, if a lot of people don't remember that, or don't, some people that listen to the show don't understand, back in the day, cell phone companies used to charge by the minute. You know what I'm saying? You could buy 500 minutes. You could buy 1,000 minutes on your phone. We weren't texting back then. We were just using straight cell phones. You know what I'm saying? And pagers. Some people have pagers. But they would charge by the minute. But some plans had it where if you paid this much, your minutes were free after 7, or they were free after 8. You know, so a lot of people would be like, yeah, you know, people call you, be like, yo, what's up, man? I can't talk to you forever. Okay, cool, yeah, call me after 7. And then you could talk on the phone forever. And then somebody started texting, and then texting took over. They were trying to charge per text. And they were like, nah, you can't do that. So they just started charging for data. But you know, the phone companies have always been grimy. Like, where I live at, we all have the same area code. But for me to call to another town with the same area code, it used to be long distance. What? Like, I don't know if anybody here has a landline home phone. But if you were to get a landline home phone, it's so outdated that they're still charging you for old things. Like, they charge you for dialing *69. They charge you for pressing redial. What? Do you hear me? The phone company has charged me for pressing the redial button because I didn't want to press type. It charged me money. I don't understand how they can charge me money for that, but they did it. You know what I'm saying? So the phone companies have always been grimy, but that's the reason I call people pretty late. You know, and then sometimes I don't know if I want to go out or not. You know, I'm so upset. This morning I was like, I'm gonna get up, I'm gonna eat like 2 eggs, I'm gonna cook some butterfly shrimp and have some French fries sprinkled with like this Mexican white cheese and some green onions and taco sauce, because that's what I wanted to eat for breakfast, because I'm a grown-ass man and I can do that. And I go up there this morning and my French fries was gone. And they weren't just regular French fries. Yeah, I mean, I have potatoes, I can make homemade fries, but I didn't want those fries. I wanted those kind of seasoned fries. The ones that are like brown. And they taste so delicious. And I was gonna sprinkle the cheese on top of it while it was still hot, so the cheese melted a little bit, and put the green onion on top of that. Maybe cut up a little cilantro, sprinkle some lime on it. You know what I'm saying? Then cover it with taco sauce. Yeah, with my shrimp. and my 2 eggs while I watch Cheaters, because I love to watch Cheaters on Saturday morning, you know, and my French fries was gone.
Kung fu treachery.
They was just gone.
Treachery.
So I look at one of my children, and I give him that stare like, I need to hear a certain answer come out your mouth right now. I'm like, did you eat my French fries? And the child was like, no, it was the other one. And in my head, I'm like, snitches get stitches. But then I'm like, okay, good looking out. So I call the other child to the kitchen, and I'm like, yo, can you do me a favor? And they're like, yeah, what you need? What you need? I was like, can you get my French fries out the freezer? I only have a handful left and I want to eat them for breakfast. And the eyes got big. They was like, the ones in the freezer? I was like, yeah, my French fries in the freezer. Mine. And they were like, opens it up like, oh, they're not in there. I don't know. I'm like, the other one already told on you. The other one's not in their head like, yeah, motherfucker. Yeah. And they're like, yeah, I ate them. Oh, I was so upset. Tore my day up. And I just went out and bought this child a box of donuts for him and his little friends. And then I want to go make my breakfast. And my fries is gone. I just had to share that with the world. I'm still hurt about it. It happened this morning. You know, I didn't have a guest today because in lieu of the presidential election, I don't like to talk about race, religion, or politics on my show. It's not topics that I want to bring up because I believe my views are not those of others, and I don't want people to change how they feel about that. And I always feel like when you get around a bunch of people, that's just stuff you shouldn't talk about. You know, like, let's all just enjoy each other and see where everyone's head's at, and let's not talk about these things. But I feel this will be a wild election afterwards. I asked for the day off after work, after the election, because I want to see what's going to happen. I've seen a couple elections in my life, and I've never seen anything like this before. And so I just feel it's going to be chaos because there's so much misinformation in the world right now that whoever loses is going to feel like they've been cheated out of it. And I don't believe that the way that we've been acting, after I saw what happened with the toilet paper, I don't believe the way that we're acting as a nation will be civil in any way or any form or fashion. So that's why I didn't have a guest on, because I wanted to make sure everybody could prepare, and I've been trying to get my family ready. I hate to be that person to, you know, think that negative, because I like to think positive things in life because it just helps me get through. But it's not negative, it's just preparing for the worst case scenario. And I hope everyone else learned from the whole toilet paper fiasco that you should be prepared for anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, I always tell people, all right, we're off that. But I always tell people, you know, if an earthquake hits or you get hit with any kind of natural disaster and you're still in your home's intact, but, you know, the power's out, the water's not running. You know what I'm saying? Like, and no one's going to be able to get to you for 2 weeks. You need to have enough supplies to last you and your family for long enough to either be rescued or to figure out a way to leave the place you're at. You know what I'm saying? It's just always good to do that. You know, you're supposed to do that, have a bag packed. And you should have been buying guns, but yeah, that's life. Message. Whatever. Yeah, so before I go, there was something I've been thinking about from just things I've seen and heard lately from people. I like to talk to people that have kids and are in a relationship raising that child. Or if you're planning on having kids with someone, or, you know, you've brought up the notion, or any of that kind of stuff. I would like people to do this. You know, first of all, you should, if you decide you're going to have a child with somebody, you should first talk about how you want to raise that child. But also, I want parents to have the hard discussion about how you two are going to co-parent if you break up. Now, you may hear that and be like, oh, we're never going to break up. That's never going to happen. Whatever. If that's not, that's cool. But how are you you should discuss how you would co-parent if you do break up. Because, you know, the hardest thing for people that they don't catch right away is, like, when you first split up, someone's going to get in another relationship. You know what I'm saying? And then you're going to feel some type of way about your child being around a certain person. You know what I'm saying? That you don't know. You know what I'm saying? Somebody's going to want to move to a different state. You know, somebody's not going to trust the other person like they did before, depending on the breakup. So I think, you know, honestly, I think parents and people that are together that have children, you should really have that discussion. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not fair to your kids from when you break up and then you parent off emotion. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't have a child with somebody and then you guys break up, and if it's not like, if it's a DV, fuck them. You know what I'm saying? They shouldn't be around anybody. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I mean, it's not fair to your child to be punished because you're in pain. It's not right to say, hey, I don't trust this person anymore. That doesn't make any sense. You trusted this person enough to have unprotected sex with them. You guys chose to bring life into the world. I mean, you also got to watch who you make life with. Excuse me, because some people may be good at fucking, but they ain't shit at life. So, but if you do end up having a child, please have that discussion. It might lead to something bad, but it might lead to something good, because at least you guys will have an easy medium. You know what I'm saying? If you stick to it after you break up, that's yet to be seen. But it's always good, because that's the most conflict I ever see. You know what I'm saying? Love your kids more than you hate each other, because without each other, you wouldn't have this beautiful child in the world. So with that being said, this will be the end of the Nightly Strange today. Thank you all for listening. If you have any questions for me, for guests that I have on there, if you have any topics you want me to discuss, if you have anything you want to hear my insight in, don't hesitate to email us at nightlystrange@gmail.com. And like everyone said before, if you don't know how to spell, that's why you're listening to podcasts. It's all gravy. Once again, I am your host, D. Mac Guno, and this has been the Nightly Strange.
You're welcome to the Nightly Strange. Thanks, God.